I just got to Jersey after being at my nephew's birthday party, and I got about 2 hours to hunt, so we have that cold front coming in, and I think it's gonna be pretty good tonight, so I didn't want to miss it. I have a bunch of does in the forest right below me. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some footage of them. There's actually more than two. It looked like at least four. And some of them have big bodies, so I'm not sure if they're all doe, if there's a buck behind them. Those ended up never fully stepping out into the field, so I couldn't get good footage of them. I'm down to a week left of this season. Their fall season ends on the 28th of October, so gonna get a lot less picky right now. And if a doe comes out, I'll probably take one. So I'm heading out from a new location that I just scouted out a little bit during the morning sit. Yeah, I can't hunt where I'm hunting right now on Sundays because it's a state park, so I had to find a new spot. So I drove around last night and spotted some areas to see what the fields look like, what deer are in the area. I ended up seeing a really good 3-year-old, big body, wide rack, just didn't have tall tines. I think he's at least an 8. One I'll definitely take, let's say that. So yeah, I sat down in this spot this morning, about 30 minutes from where I've been hunting, and picked up 3 deer on my way in. And when I was moving around, trying to find a good spot to sit, I ended up kicking one up, and it was 30 yards from me. So I could have sat down and just waited, and probably would have walked down in front. Like I said, at this point I'm ready to shoot a doe, so I'll take whatever comes out right now. But yeah, I think this will give me a good chance to get in on this buck. I'm going to hunt this one tree line. He was out feeding this cut corn last night, and I think he might be bedding up on the ridge right above it. So I have a west wind all day, so that should help me out too. Shouldn't catch my scent where I'm going to set up, and I can cover that little small tree line I'm going to put a stand in tonight and be able to shoot into the field as well, just not into the cornfield. I can't really see into it, so hopefully he comes through that little woods funnel. I get a shot on him tonight. So I'm heading back out to go set up this new stand location. The wind's still blowing pretty good off and on, but for the most part it's about 10-mile-an-hour winds, and that's perfect for where I think this buck's probably bedded. I'm getting a mostly northwest wind, and he's bedding up north of me on a ridge is where I think he's probably laying. So the game plan is he comes down and works his way through a lot of the higher weed cover and doe bedding area, and then comes out to feed at night. And I'm going to try to intersect that in that little stretch of woods Hopefully it works according to plan. I'm still trying to get in, and this little buck just came jumping out the high weeds right behind me. I didn't get my camera up in time, but he's over right behind where those yellow leaves are at. He's in the high weeds right there, so I don't know if he's gonna come out again or what. So I was just thinking that it's a little early for that buck to be coming through like that. But there was 2 trucks that just drove up the driveway to go park. I don't know if they were gonna hunt or what, but that was shortly before I left and headed out into the woods, so maybe they got out and kicked some deer up and they're gonna be moving a little earlier. So I just got set up in the tree stand, and it took a little longer than I anticipated, let's just say that. Still getting used to all the camera equipment and how to set that up. I had to readjust it a few times. That took a little longer, but I think I have it figured out now to be able to capture footage for all my shooting lanes and not get in the way when I'm trying to shoot one as well. But I have about an hour and a half of light, which isn't much, but hopefully something comes through. The wind's still blowing pretty good here this evening, and we have a cold front coming in tomorrow, so they should get moving pretty soon. There's deer. I saw earlier that was right behind me. He might be a 3 or 4 pointer. But she came out right to my shooting lane. I could have easily cracked her, but my wind's blowing right in that direction, so I don't know if she caught a little bit of my scent. It made her feel uneasy, or if she picked me out up in the tree, because there's not a lot of cover around here. But they both took off back the way they came. Neither of them blew. Actually, the little buck snort wheezed a little bit, which is pretty neat. But yeah, still waiting on that big buck, seeing if he comes out tonight. So I ended up having 5 doe come out. 2 of them were actually pretty big, and one stepped 15 yards away from my stand, right in my shooting lane. And I really wanted to crack her, I'm not gonna lie. I want to hold out for a buck, but at the same time I have 1 week left, and I do have a doe tag. And I'd like to get some steaks and jerky, so... but yeah, I chose not to. I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, if I'm going to shoot her, I'd also like to be able to video it. But I was having issues with my fluid head, not getting it onto the arm this morning. I figured it out now, but yeah, definitely going through the learning curves of this equipment right now. But it's about 9 o'clock, and still a little chilly out. It's in the low 40s, so I'm going to sit for a while and see if anything else comes out. So I just shot a buck, probably the easiest one I've ever shot, to be honest. Heading back to the stand. I'm heading back this dirt road right here. And before I hit the soybean field, the first one, I'm hunting on the second one. And I hear a bunch of leaves cracking. So I'm sitting there, I was like, that sounds pretty big. Crouched down just a little bit, and I could see a G2, and it looks pretty long. I was like, oh, this is a buck, and it's one I'm gonna shoot. So I crouched down, begin to draw the bow back, and he stops. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know if he saw me, but he's less than 10 yards at this point, so I have to be very careful. And I'm on the ground, obviously, so I just sit there and wait and give him about a minute, and he starts taking a couple more steps. And then I draw the bow back, I stand up, and he has high weeds all around him, so I can just see the top of his back. I didn't want anything to deflect my arrow, so I did aim a little high. I heard a crack and he dropped right away, which would probably indicate a spine shot, but based off the sound, it sounded like it was shoulder, like high shoulder. So I just walked up to him real quick and put another arrow in him so he wouldn't suffer. But yeah, he's only 150 yards from the truck. Probably the easiest one I've ever gotten. So I have the deer card. I can easily just wheel that out here and grab him. He looks like he's a good 7-pointer. Not a giant, but like I said, give me a good 8-pointer, at least a 2-year-old, and I'll take it. I'm trying to knock out as many I can across a bunch of states this year. And very thankful that I got him this early, because it's the end of October. I have plenty of hunting time in other states yet. Yeah, very thankful to have gotten this one. It's 3:30, so it's pretty early. First one I ever got on the ground, to be honest, especially like that. Walking back a trail and he just steps out. I mean, how much easier can you get? Pretty awesome to knock New Jersey off right now. I was getting a little discouraged too, because at the same time, I only have 5 days yet and I want to hunt Kentucky. So I was like, man, I'm about to just crack whatever buck comes out pretty soon, because I only have a couple days. I definitely don't want to miss Kentucky. So pretty happy that I got this one, let's just say that. Yeah, definitely blessed to be able to take that deer. Walking into the stand, you can't get much easier. So I can just wheel him right back out to the truck. That's definitely a first for me. So I'm heading back now. I gave him a little bit of time to lay and grabbed my camera gear, and that way I can take some better videos and pictures of him when he's laying down. Yeah, now comes the work. I'm just gonna do what I have to do and take him to a local butcher around here. That way I can head home and then prepare for the next part, whether that's PA or Kentucky, and just keep moving on. Thankful though. I was definitely wanting to eat some deer steaks and jerky, let's just say that. I was about ready to crack some does, but that would have been the first time in over 10 years I shot a doe. And I was getting to the point where I almost wanted to. So I'm thankful to be able to take this one. I can just move on. So maybe this is just me, but I'm into numbers and the biblical meaning of them. And as you can see, it says mile 7. This is where I'm parking my truck, and he's a 7-pointer. 7's the number of perfection. And today's date is the 23rd, which means death. And like I said, I had a feeling just in general because of the cold front. Coincidence or not, you tell me. Maybe not the most ideal. I'll tell you what, it's still easier than dragging them, for sure. 100%. So yeah, this is a Jersey buck. 1 buck down. I only had 5 more days to go this season, and I was about to get a lot less picky. But yeah, he came out 10 yards from me on the ground when I was walking back to my stand, and I wasn't sure what it was at first when I heard the leaves cracking. I saw this G2, and that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, he's a shooter. I just crouched down. I was mid-draw there for a little while, but he waited about a minute and then stepped out again, and then I just drew back and cracked him, hit him high shoulder. My arrow actually broke off in him. But he's a 2-year-old, definitely one I would take. He's a 7-pointer, got good G2 length, and he's been rubbing up pretty good here lately. But my goal is to shoot an 8-point, 13 inches wide or better, and he pretty much fits that bill. So that's 1 down, hopefully one of many. Gonna be processing him here real shortly, and debating then where I want to hunt. If it's gonna be PA, I'll hunt there for a little bit, or go straight to Kentucky. But yeah, pretty thankful to take this deer. I was actually debating shooting a doe earlier, because I'm at the point now where I really want some deer steaks or jerky, and this will solve that problem right now. So glad I didn't have to shoot one earlier and I get to shoot him. It's unfortunate that I didn't have it on film. I have an action camera, but it keeps draining battery pretty fast, so I wasn't able to capture this. But I have the video for after for right now, and hopefully upgrade that piece of equipment so I can capture that kind of stuff in the future. But this is definitely a first for me. First buck on the ground that I actually got, And first time I'm walking back to the stand and I end up getting one. He didn't even know I was there. Only 150 yards from the truck, so can't get much easier than that. Definitely blessed to be able to have this deer right now though. But I'm gonna get to processing him and then figure out where I'm gonna hunt next. Hopefully one of many. It's only October, got plenty of hunting time yet. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens.